When I got started in real estate 2005, I just wanted to do deals, man. I wanted to do deals. I wanted to help homeowners. I wanted to make money. And I completely abdicated my responsibility of the finances. A year and a half later, hired a bookkeeper, somebody who I thought was going to be handling my taxes and act as my CPA, just really stupid and my naive stuff. Fast forward to 2009, I get certified mail from the IRS. The envelope was about 1.5 inches thick. And I hadn't filed taxes 2006, 7, 8, and then 9 was coming up. So it was over 6 figures in debt to the IRS. And it took me about a 3-year period to get out of that hole. But man, I think I share that because I want to be vulnerable and that I understand that sometimes people, they understand the importance of the numbers. They know it tells the story of the business, but it's not sexy. It's not fun. That's not where people want to spend their time. And I think the gap that you provide is so needed. I'm surprised it took somebody this long to figure out a solution for real estate investors. So what's one of the biggest challenges that you see people make when it comes to whether they work with somebody like you or not? What's the biggest challenge when it comes to just wrapping their arms around the bookkeeping, the accounting, the finances of the real estate investing business?
The biggest thing that I see is avoiding it because people feel embarrassed. Like they should know. Like somehow they're supposed to by osmosis or because they went to school or they've read Rich Dad Poor Dad or whatnot. They're supposed to somehow magically know how to be a good steward of the financial portion of their business. But we don't get trained in that. Well, you know who gets trained in that? Accountants and bookkeepers. Right. And it's like that's not what most entrepreneurs are. So it's like, that's where most people avoid it because they feel embarrassed that they don't have that knowledge, but they want to feel in control. So then it's that dichotomy of like, man, I'm really stressed out because I don't know where my finances are. But at the same time, I feel bad because I should know where they are, right? Because I'm a business owner, like should know where my money's going. And it's like, well, not unless you've been taught this. So that's one of the biggest things that I see as a mistake is just avoiding that and not diving in or not getting the right help in order to get that control back in your business. So that's where, we see that a lot.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think the other thing to piggyback on that, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, David, is I forgot where I heard this, so I'd love to give them credit, but gross for show, net for dough. There's so many people that just focus on top line. Like, what are they making? Oh, I killed it. I made X amount this year. But what did you keep? Mm-hmm. And there's a huge difference, as you know, and I'm hoping you can kind of elaborate a little more, the big difference between top line and bottom line. So that's a mistake I also see people in our kind of inner circles, masterminds, just always talking about, 6-figure month, doing this, doing that. But what did you keep?
Right. Yeah. That to say that another way, I feel like the top line or that gross is what you see on a report and what you keep is what you see in your bank account. So it's really, from the entrepreneur's perspective, it's really that. It is that number you get to brag about at a meeting or whatnot. Oh yeah, we just did our first 7-figure year. And it's like, okay, but what's your bank account look like? Or what does that bottom line look like? That's what Profit First really is all about. It boils down to, are you getting real benefits from your business? Not what something says on a piece of paper, but what shows up in your bank account. Like physically keeping the money, not just someone saying you should keep more money. What does that really mean? So I could go into Profit First if you wanted me to go into the whole system, but that's what it's about. It's about keeping the money. So I'll go into the mindset first because we've all heard this before. We've all heard, pay yourself first. We've heard, like a portion of all I have is mine to keep, like from Rich Dad Poor Dad or from The Richest Man in Babylon. And Profit First has a lot of that same mindset. And that's where the formula that we hear from everyone else is sales minus expenses equals profit. So that's the broken formula. That's what we hear from our accountants, like make a sale, pay all your expenses, and then hopefully you have something left over at the end of the week, day, month, year, like that there's some money somewhere for you.
Yeah.
But that's where Profit First takes that formula and says, well, no, it's sales minus profit equals expenses, meaning I make a sale, I take my profit first, and then my business has what's left over to operate. And that sounds so simple, like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, I should pay myself first. But I always say, when I first read Profit First, I was like, you know what? I'm a real estate investor. I've heard this before. like I do. I keep hearing this in the different books that we read, and like the Rich Dad Poor Dad education, and like all this different types of stuff that we hear as real estate investors are masterminds and events, seminars, webinars, like, because we keep constantly, we love to consume that type of content. So I'm like, there has to be legs behind this. How do we make that reality? How do we make that mindset a part of who we are? That's why I love the Profit First system, because there's a practical side to create the habits of making sure you're a profitable business, like making profit a habit inside of your business. So,
but I want to go ahead and kind of a shameless plug for David's book. If you guys want to check this out, I highly recommend and encourage it. Profit First for Real Estate Investing. If you guys go to simplecfobook.com, he goes so much deeper in that book than what we're able to go through in a 45-minute or hour-long podcast. So definitely check it out, simplecfobook.com.